Welcome, I'm Midnight Redditor, and tonight we're going to go over r/creepyencounters, where a creep in the woods almost gets caught. Our first story comes from Anxiety Girl 24. So I feel like this might belong here because it's a pretty creepy story, but also might not completely be what we thought it was. I have some doubts on if the creep was real or if we were just kids who let our imaginations get the best of us. Anyways, here's the story. This happened when I was 9 or 10 during the summer my parents split up. My mom and us kids, me, my brother, and my sister, were staying with my aunt for the summer until my mom could find a new place. Directly across the street from my aunt's house is a park, and behind the parks is some woods. All the kids on the street played at this park, and we all kind of played together. Sometimes we hated each other, sometimes we were best friends. You know, stupid kid stuff. Anyways, this all started about halfway through the summer. Me and my sister and my cousin and a few of the neighborhood kids were playing in the park, and it was getting pretty late. Well, late for a 10-year-old kid. We were playing on the swings that were across from the woods, and one of our neighborhood kids screamed and pointed at the woods. We all asked what was wrong. The kid said she saw a man watching us in the woods. Us being kids, and the oldest of us being 11, got scared and ran home to tell our parents. At first, none of them believed us. But by the next day, we forgot about the man and went back to the park. This time, another kid sees him and we all go running to tell our parents. This time, however, they took it somewhat more seriously, and all of the dads on the street went into the woods with bats looking for this creep, but found nothing. The sighting of the creepy man kept happening, and to be honest, gave me doubts of the man's existence. One kid claimed he saw him at night, another claimed he saw him during the day. Most of them just claimed to see him in the woods. But one of the kids claimed the creepy man tried to grab them and threatened to kill them. This terrified our parents so much, one parent called the police. The police came and searched the woods, but they found nothing. Surprisingly, after the police came, not many more sightings occurred. Now you might be thinking, well, yeah, he got scared off by the police. Well, here's where the doubt comes in. Part of me thinks that maybe, just maybe, the kid who saw it was trying to mess with us, and it just got so out of hand she was afraid to admit she was kidding. Maybe this was a kid just making stuff up and our young brains running wild with ideas. I think possibly all the sightings were simply us being scared and creating stories in our heads, or kids made up sightings because they wanted to be part of it. But I also remember how scared and paranoid I felt back when it happened. And another part of me thinks that if it was real, what if this did happen and we were in real danger? It haunts me to think about. The worst part is I never know if this was true creepy encounters or just a cruel joke gone bad. Well, that is my story. Hope it's okay to post it here, as it's kind of me debunking myself. Even if this was just kids being kids and a kid playing a cruel joke on all the other kids, it's still creepy. I mean, just imagine thinking you're always being watched. That's just terrifying if you ask me. Our next story comes from Mean Angry Girl. I mentioned in my previous post about the ketamine Lyft driver that for a good week my car was in the shop getting fixed. This resulted in me lifting everywhere and having to deal with weirdos. Now, I already thought that the last Lyft driver who recommended using ketamine to me was pretty bad, but this guy takes the cake. I had just finished my shift and this dude picks me up by the name of Angel. No worries, the name has changed. But anyways, as I get into the backseat of his car, he pulls up my Lyft photo and zooms in on it repeatedly before he stares back at me in the rearview mirror. "This you?" he asks. Yeah. No way. How old are you? You look so cute. How old are you? As he says this, he keeps pulling up my Lyft photo as it keeps disappearing to show his Google Maps screen. I'm 22. What? How old were you when you took this photo? You look like a child. You're so cute. Wow. In my head, I was like, jerk, 2 years ago. Get off my ass. But instead, I didn't really answer and kind of brushed him off. He continues driving, all the while staring at me whenever he can. We get to a red light and he changes the radio station from Katy Perry to a Spanish channel. I instantly groan inside because I'm a mixed race, and this is getting old for me. A lot of people do this thing to me where they try to see if I can speak their language or know about their culture. You speak Spanish? You know the song? This is real Spanish music. You should listen. No, I don't speak Spanish, thanks. Do you know any Spanish artists? I don't. Well, that's okay. Even if you don't speak Spanish, you'll do good on your honeymoon. I ask him what he means by that, and he doesn't answer. Instead, he asks me about my work schedule, how many days a week I work, is it always at location, do I live alone, etc., etc. I answer him instead in half-truths, saying, oh, I don't have a schedule yet or a fixed location as I'm training between locations, which is true. That is why he can't find me or know my routine at all. He just nods and hums, all the while glancing at me in the mirror. A car cuts him off and he honks before stating loudly, Move, move, I have Princess Mean Angry Girl in the back seat of my car. I tell him to let me out on the corner and he says no, he'll take me to my door. Miss me with that crap though, I've seen enough horror movies to know how that works. Because I don't want to be too obviously freaked out, I tell him to go up to these random townhouses which are all connected by a path or park. He lets me out in front of some random house and I move behind it and wait until he drives off before I zigzag around all these pathways. Heck, I almost got lost myself by walking around all these weird pathways until I finally found myself home. Does this happen a lot to girls when they try to take a Lyft? This doesn't happen to me, obviously, because I'm a guy, and generally, I don't get hit on by many guys. It hasn't really happened to me. So if this has happened to me, I would love to hear your story in the comment section, so just comment below. And if you are one of these type of creeps that drive women around and try to pick them up, they don't want to sleep with you. Make it stop. End it. Very much like how I'm ending this video here. If you made it this far, then smash the subscribe button so you can get more of my content, and I hope to see you next time.